You didn't think I'd be back, huh? Well, John Morrow couldn't make it, so you're stuck with me. Welcome to Geeks and Gamers Daily. Let's go.
Well, I wasn't prepared for that. Welcome into Geeks and Gamers Daily. We are back, and we have Sydney Sweeney in the thumbnail because she's actually a topic. We are not clickbaiters here, okay? We have respect for the YouTube algorithm and the YouTube platform. We would never put anyone in a thumbnail that wasn't part of the title just to show cleavage. We're not like that. We're a respectable channel. But we got Fear the Beardo here, who's pulling his best Jay impersonation, except you didn't sing. You didn't sing like Jay.
I didn't sing. No, I didn't sing. So, how's it going, guys?
That was very Jay.
That was very Jay.
It's
right there.
Awkward.
Yeah. And we have Hollywood scholar Ginger Jesus in the house. What's up, Jed?
Hey, y'all. It's great to be here, especially talking about something that's not Doctor Who for once. So I'm excited to jump into it because there's a lot of crazy stuff going on, a lot of great things to talk about between, Alan Richson destroying his credibility and everything else. So I'm excited to get into it.
It's every week, man. Every week for the past 2 months, there's just been some bullshit to talk about in every kind of nerd fandom out there. There's something bullshit to talk about.
It's they've been giving us a lot of content, and Alan Richson's like, there's so many people, I guess, that I think a lot of people just viewed him as like, just because he's in Reacher and he's this tough dude. I think a lot of people just assumed he was on their side politically. That's just never been the case. He's always been like this, at least from what I've seen. He's always been like a leftist psychopath, but yeah, it's really picked up a lot of momentum, so we're going to talk about that. And I saw Willie D. Jones says last night's Cobra Cast was the bomb. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Glad you guys enjoyed Cobra Cast last night. We went for 3 hours, and it was a good one. It was a good show last night, so shout out to the Snake Pit indeed. We also got Fallout going on, and you guys have seen some of it. I've seen like half the first episode. I will probably today, because today's one of the lighter days for me, I'll probably at least get to 3 or 4 of the episodes now for today, because we're going to talk about it on FNT tomorrow. But that's kind of been the talk of the internet with Fallout releasing over on Amazon. And obviously Fallout's a big gaming franchise. So, we'll see how that one goes. And then you guys are saying something about Transformers 1. Did something happen with Transformers 1? Like something drop or something? I don't know. A few people have mentioned that already. 1-800-DANKY is in the chat. Oh, snap. What's he going to come up with today? I don't know. There it is. Drunken Jedi says, morning, dudes. You guys saw the premiere Transformers 1 in space an hour ago. I did not. Let's watch it. So we can check it out. Beardo's nemesis, John Morrow, says, good morning, gentlemen. Fuck Beardo. Damn. And then Beardo's nemesis, John Morrow, says, don't be mad at me, Beardo. I pull 10s, you pull 3s. Dang, Beardo. Putting you on check, man. What do you think about that?
At least I can wipe my own ass, John Morrow. You fucking fraud.
But okay, let's talk about Fallout really quick. So Fallout premiered with the Binge model, which has been another topic of discussion. But I know, Jed, you've seen some of it. Beardo, you've seen some of it. Obviously, we won't go too deep into this. But first of all, Jed, have you played Fallout?
I have played Fallout. I played New Vegas and Fallout 4, so I've gotten a little bit of Obsidian, a little bit of Bethesda. I would not say I'm an expert, but I played a lot of, especially New Vegas. New Vegas is incredible. I have a couple other ones like 76, but the online model of 76 is just awful. So I got like 1 minute in it, maybe max, but not an expert, but enough to be familiar with the world and recognize Easter eggs and stuff like that. Okay. So what do you think of the Fallout show? How far into it are you? I'm about 2 episodes in. I finished 2 episodes, and I can definitely say who's ever in charge of the music, the production design, the costuming, whoever's in charge of those did a phenomenal job. Great stuff. Need promotions and everything. Whoever's in charge of the script needs to go back to school. It's rather lacking for me. It's very superficial. It's not aggressively bad, like something like Rings of Power or whatnot, but it's very middle of the road. I gave the first 2 episodes about a 5 or a 6. Like, it's okay, totally understand why people love it, but there are substantial plot issues, particularly contrivances and characters being dumb for the plot's sake, and just the plot is just progressing for plot's sake, not really for character choices or momentum. So I've been extremely bored with it. So I finished the second episode like last Saturday or something, and I just haven't picked it up because I'm just not invested. I'm not interested. So I might continue, but as of right now, I'm done.
Yeah, and again, I've not played the Fallout games, but so I watched this first episode, and a lot of diversity. Again, it's fine, but when it's just so obvious that that's what they're going for, it's distracting because Hollywood's whole approach to this shit is like, we have to have more diversity, and it's like they're actively showing you how diverse the fucking show is. You can't not notice when they do shit like that. It just, this is Hollywood. This is what they do. But Beardo, well, how much have you seen?
Well, I'm right there with Jed. When New Vegas came out several years ago, I played off and on with my brother, and then I played Fallout 4 a good bit, and then I held off on 76. I didn't play 76, and I'm glad I didn't, because that game was an absolute shit show, and I think a lot of diehard Fallout fans will agree with that. I am on episode 5, so I'm damn near done. I have noticed the diversity. I haven't had a problem with it because they're not shoving it down your throat. I'm completely fine with the female main character. For the one reason is because she's hot. And the show doesn't tell you that the show is important because the main character is a female, which I enjoy. A few of the diversity hires that I do have a problem with is the fact that this is a post-apocalyptic Fallout world. Why do we have fat people in the vaults? These people living in the vault are on a
and that doesn't tie into the games though.
Not that I remember.
Okay.
And there are fat people in the wasteland too. And in the games, you'd only see something like that. I imagine like a warlord or something like it. It was plot that the dude was overweight, but in the show, yeah, there's just random fat people.
Right.
It's like you're living in a vault. You have scarce rations of food. How is there fat people? To me, it's like the people in the vault are of rich, privileged families. Like they were able to afford to live in the vault to stay away from the surface. Why are there fat people in the vault? Like that just wouldn't happen. And then in the Brotherhood, there is a trans character. 219 years in the future, in a post-apocalyptic world, why do we have 2020 political ideals as far as trans people? Why is that a thing in a post-apocalyptic world? That just feels out of place. Why? It feels like that shouldn't and wouldn't happen in that kind of world. So that bothered me, but Jed is absolutely right. The music is fantastic. When you're watching it, it feels like it's in the Fallout universe. It feels appropriate. I do enjoy it for the most part. And actually, after the first episode, I wasn't sure how I felt about it, but after the second episode, I got hooked and I got addicted and I binged like 3 episodes after that. I'm on the 5th episode. Walter Goggins, the ghoul. Walton Goggins, the guy who plays the ghoul. He's my favorite character so far. He feels like he's carrying the show. The CGI in the show is also fantastic with the monsters, or with the abominations they call them. Everything looks gorgeous, and people. We talked about this a little bit before the show. It seems like people either really love this show or really dislike this show. And you said this the other night on the main event. This kind of feels like another One Piece live action. And I do see that. I do see that. And I said I feel like a lot of diehard Fallout fans are the people that have a problem with it, and more of the normies are the people that are liking it. And I would say that I fall under the Fallout normie place. But it's like, man, if you're a diehard Fallout fan and you have a problem with the show, well, this is kind of the bullshit that Bethesda's been feeding you the past several years is bullshit. So maybe you should have seen it coming, diehard Bethesda fans. If you don't like the show, well, this is kind of what Bethesda's been giving you.
Well, so I one thing that I've seen a few people say, especially because like Gary had made like a binge, like how the binge model sucks post on Twitter, and I saw quite a few comments, people saying, well, specifically for Fallout, I benefited from the binge model because the first episode or two really didn't grab me, and then I kept watching and it really pulled me in. And I'm still halfway through the first episode. I don't dislike the show. It's not like I really enjoyed the first, like the opening, like 10 minutes. I thought that was really cool. And I thought that was really interesting. Once we've kind of gotten a little further into it, like I just saw the first, what's her name? Lucy? Is that the lead?
Lucy.
Yeah.
Lucy.
And she just had this guy that she married that attacked her and all this. And she
I have to say something about that scene real quick, though.
Yeah.
So they make it clear that wedding dress is a hand-me-down, and she's going to hand it down to other women, and yet she sleeps with the dude in the dress. That is so inconsiderate.
Well, I mean, the woman that came before her probably did the same thing. Let's be fair. Sure. But there are several twists and turns, and in episode 4, there is a huge plot twist that you find out. And
okay, no spoilers,
because I don't know the outcome of the plot twist yet because I haven't finished the show. But it does grab you, and I will say, man, there's so much to say because the binge model versus the weekly release. I understand because I saw Gary tweet it the other day about that the binge model sucks. I think for the consumer who isn't a content YouTuber, the binge model is awesome because you can just sit down, watch it, pick it up, and watch it again whenever you want to. You're not sitting there on the edge of your seat just waiting. But for the content creator, you kind of want the weekly release because then after the episode releases, you can sit down, you can make a review. You can make a review for every single episode. So there's content to be made with that. With the binge model, what are you going to do? You're going to sit down, watch one episode, post a video, and then watch another episode, post a video, and then you just have back-to-back videos in a few days. So I understand for the content creator's perspective, weekly releases are better, but I am a fan of the binge model. I like launching the entire season all at once, and then you can just sit down and just enjoy it and just binge it. So that's where I stand on that. If we're going to draw comparisons,
back against that though. So pushing back on that a little bit, yes, of course, the binge model is great for a consumer, but we're customers and we need to think about the business of this. So the best evidence why I think the weekly model is better than the binge model is for the longevity of a show. So think about Fallout. The hype around Fallout is already dying out. Like it's no longer trending. People aren't talking about it as much. It's still around, but it's dying very, very quickly. And we're only a week out from the release. In another week, Fallout's going to be out of the zeitgeist entirely. So if you do a binge model, your show's in the zeitgeist for 2 weeks. There's a big, massive push, and then it's dead. But with a weekly, you can build up to it, and it's around for 8 to 10 weeks in a lot of situations. And there's a snowballing effect to create a larger audience. That's what we saw with House of the Dragon. House of the Dragon had some of the largest viewership in recent years, and that's because a lot of people were worried about House of the Dragon because of the ending of Game of Thrones. Then more people gave it a chance, got good reviews, more people gave it a chance, and it just snowballed into something massive, which helped justify a larger budget for season 2, helped justify renewing for season 2. So if you want a longevity for your show, the weekly is going to be the better thing for you because it does better from a business and marketing standpoint. And yes, I prefer binging something that I love. Absolutely. But you also have to think, do I want more of this or do I want to risk there being some financial marketing drawbacks to it? So it's a balancing act.
I would say House of the Dragon was successful because it's Game of Thrones and it's good. That's really what it comes down to.
That plays into it.
Because ultimately, my argument has always been it's not about binge or weekly. It's about good shows versus bad. Stranger Things is probably the most successful franchise in the last several years, and that's been a binge model. Like what's more successful than consistently than Stranger Things?
That came out since then.
House of the Dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah, House of the Dragon,
and that would be it.
viewership.
And that is a tied to Game of
So
Thrones.
of
Right.
course, the quality of the show is going to have.
So then
the
you
biggest
kind of have to
effect on it,
think
but
how much more hype would there
Yes.
be around Stranger Things if it was a weekly release? I mean, it's
So-
fun. It's fun to think about that, and I do think that with Jed's point, because I do think that Jed's
Mm-hmm.
point, he's completely spot on. That also plays into the YouTube content creator with all of that hype around the weekly releases for a
Yeah.
show like House of the Dragon, making those weekly YouTube videos reviewing the episode that everybody just watched in anticipation for. So there is an argument to be made for the weekly releases. Me personally, I'm just a fan of the binge model.
Yeah. I prefer binging myself, of course, but yeah, there's all those aspects that I talked about, and then there's another one, FOMO. You can resist FOMO for a week or two, but if you have to resist it for several months, that's a lot more difficult. And finales become events. They became massive
Right.
worldwide things and great shows. But
Watch parties and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. With Stranger Things, because of the binge model, yes, people gathered to watch maybe the first couple episodes and then they'd finish it on their own. But it wasn't like this big worldwide event where people set their clocks at the same time. People around the world tweeting, "Oh my God, this happened in Game of Thrones." Like, there's no big events in television without building up to an epic conclusion. And it's the same thing. It's the fundamental reason in storytelling where you have to take time to build things up, to set things up, foreshadowing, because you need time for the audience to acclimate to something, think about something, theorize about things. Fan theories in and of seasons are virtually dead now with the binge model. And theories fueled fan discussion, fueled the show lasting longer because we're talking in the zeitgeist, because people are like, "Ooh, next week I think this is going to happen. Ooh, what about this?" And then theorizing, exploring the
A la
lore.
Mandalorian season 2.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
And like my argument to that would be something like Squid Game. I don't know if we've seen anything just as viral as Squid Game, and that was a binge release. Like that was fucking crazy for a short period of time, obviously.
For a short period
But
of time.
would it have-
How long
would
has
it-
it been since season 2?
Would Squid Game have had the same reaction if it was a weekly release? And we don't know that because everybody got to go all the way through it, and then it became this trending thing. I don't think that there is a true definitive answer because we've seen it work again for and against both. So like every Disney Plus release is a fucking is a weekly model. It didn't help any of those pieces of shit.
I think the only
because they were
one that
bad
it
shows.
did help was Mandalorian for the first 2 seasons,
Yeah.
because now you look at Kenobi and then Ahsoka, which were weekly releases, and nobody gave a fuck about it.
And look
Right.
at Echo. They decided Echo was trash, and so they released it on the binge to get rid of it because people would only talk about it for 2 awful weeks versus talking about it for 2 awful months, which is terrible marketing and could affect the stock at a certain point. So that's what a lot of people worried about with Fallout. Because
See, but
Fallout
you
was
got,
supposed to be
I've heard that argument. I'm sorry, I don't think Disney has enough self-awareness to realize, like, if they had enough self-awareness to realize that they had a piece of shit, so they're going to release it all at once, they
She-Hulk
wouldn't be
would've been
releasing
binged.
anything. They wouldn't be releasing anything. So giving Disney going, hey, Disney know they have a shitty show, so they're going to release it all at once. You're like, what about all the other shitty stuff that they've been putting out?
Yep.
So they only realize it with Echo? That doesn't make any sense. They would have never fucking released Kenobi if they realized they had shitty shows, because that was more detrimental to anything I think that they created up to this point. So Marvel, like they would have just never released the fucking Marvels if they had that level of self-awareness. I just don't buy the argument that
true.
Marvel was like, hey, we've released dog shit for several years now and completely ruined our company and brand. But this Echo thing, this is where we have to really recognize we've got a piece of shit. So we're going to release that. We're going to release the binge. I don't buy that shit at all.
Well,
Then what would be your
maybe
explanation for changing the model last minute?
I think maybe for She-Hulk, they saw the reaction to She-Hulk, and then they did Echo with the binge. I will almost guarantee you that Daredevil, Born Again, or whatever it's fucking called, they'll do weekly for that. Because more people give a shit about Daredevil.
Worldwide event, they're hopeful for that to make a difference, and just being in the zeitgeist positively for 2 months has a massive effect on social media awareness, on longevity, on growing viewership.
Yeah, and again, if we're actually talking about them having these discussions about how can we get people to talk about something and respond to that, it's about making a good fucking product. It's not about how you release it, because if you would have released, so you released a bunch of shitty Disney shows on the weekly model and nobody gave a fuck about them. If all of those would have been good and released Binge, they would have been far more successful. Just as if they would have been good and released weekly. It really comes down to, is it good? That's all that it really comes down to. And something's good, you can release it however the fuck you want. And it's going to be successful, generally speaking. Now, there's arguments to go, well, something like, again, people have said they would have given up on Fallout after a week or two if they had to do the weekly. But then there's other things that I think benefit from the weekly as well. Like, I do think Game of Thrones is a perfect example of something that benefits from the weekly. But it's because Game of Thrones is like nothing else. Game of Thrones is a true event. Every single time an episode comes out, it's an event. Game of Thrones is an anomaly to almost every other television show, and it always was. And House of the Dragon plays into that too. It is an event. That is something that few other shows, even Walking Dead didn't. Like, Walking Dead at its peak was pretty fantastic. It still didn't have that event feel like Game of Thrones did at its peak. You know what I mean? That was just, it was next level.
And I don't think Fallout is that event level show to where a weekly, it wouldn't benefit from a weekly release. I think it's I think it's meant to be binged.
So, yeah, with Fallout, a lot of negativity was surrounding it beforehand, especially with Jonathan Nolan's comments about it's a fool's errand to make something for fans. Like, everyone I talked to was like, I'm not looking forward to the show. This show was bad. But when it eventually comes out, there's a lot of positivity. But these people still aren't checking it out because it's the binge model. But if you had several weeks of wearing these people down and say, hey, this new episode was really good, you should watch it. And then over 2.5 months, a lot of people would break down and finally give it a chance.
Yeah.
One last positive thing I'll say about Fallout is there are some side quests and what could potentially feel like filler episodes, but they do it right. Unlike Mandalorian, where you're watching a filler episode and you start it and you're like, this is filler, and then by the end of the episode, the problem is finished. Like, they finish the problem that was in this filler episode, and then the episode ends with that problem being concluded, where in Fallout, you're like, okay, they're doing this side quest or doing this filler, but it bleeds into the next episode. So it doesn't feel like you're just wasting your time. It feels like this side quest, this filler, actually means something. They drag it out, and they run into other problems. I feel like they do the side quest right in Fallout, because it's not just, oh, here's a filler, and by the end of the episode, it's done, and then they start up with a whole new problem in the next episode. It all bleeds in throughout several episodes. That's where I think Fallout is doing it right. Well, compared to shows like Mandalorian.
I'm interested to see how I feel, because I'm going to watch a lot of Fallout today, just to kind of get caught up on it. We'll see. Let's read a few super chats. Beardo.
Yep. Let's get them out of the way. Let's go. Where'd we
got Gremlin. I get Gremlin 20 says, you need to play Fallout 1 and 2 top-down game, and you will understand how dark Fallout's world really is. Let's see.
Oh, mentioning that real fast, a point Beardo made that I wanted to push back on just very briefly is I don't think it's the Bethesda fans that are really pushing against it, the Fallout Bethesda fans, because the people I've seen doing it more are the New Vegas and 1-2 fans, and those are the Obsidian made those games, and those fans are very diehard and very segregated. They segregate themselves from the Bethesda fan base, and they're the ones I've seen having a bigger problem with this, because Todd Howard is, involved in both the games and the show. So this is Fallout 5 to him. That's what he said. So,
and I haven't finished it, but I have seen a few things. I don't want to spoil anything, but I have seen a few things on Twitter, and I have seen Todd Howard's comments that say that Fallout New Vegas is very much in canon to this TV show.
It takes place after New Vegas by 7 years.
We will see. Yeah. Drunken Jedi for 17 months says, "Good morning, dudes. You saw they premiered Transformers 1 in space an hour ago. Okay, we got that one.
Hang on. Unknown says, like Gary said, Jeremy hasn't been watching any show. Well, that's because they're all fucking terrible. I just rewatched the entire Breaking Bad series.
Nice.
I'll watch good shit, but there's nothing good, generally speaking, out right now. You know what I'll watch when it comes out? Cobra Kai, the final season of Cobra Kai. I'll watch the fuck out of that. And the reason I didn't care for House of the Dragon is mainly just because I know how it ends. I don't. You burnt me with the end of Game of Thrones. Like, so
yeah, it's
I
a
know.
problem with prequels.
Yeah, like, so I don't care. Like, it's like if you go back and after the Rise of Skywalker, I wouldn't care about the prequels. I was like, well, I already know how the fuck you're gonna do this, so I wouldn't watch that after the fact. I'm not saying House of the Dragon is not a good show. I'm just saying, like, I have a bad taste in my mouth with the whole Game of Thrones season, the last 2 seasons essentially, and how it ended. It was awful, and so
Very
that was
fair.
so yeah. But
still,
Better Call Saul. I watched Better Call Saul.
A lot of people liked House of the Dragon. It was very successful, and like, you can still look even before the sequels came out, the Disney sequels. With the prequels, you still know that Obi-Wan's gonna live. You still know that Anakin's gonna become Darth Vader, but you still wanted to see how it all unraveled.
I'm just generally not a fan of prequels, just in general for the most part.
I don't have a problem with prequels. My issue with House of the Dragon is just because I already know where this leads us to, and it's really bad.
Yeah.
That doesn't change the fact that it's probably a really, really good experience for people. But yeah, as far as me living in the past, you're damn right. I'll play retro games and watch old TV shows because everything we're getting these days fucking sucks. I'm not going to sit through a bunch of shitty Marvel shows so I can make videos on them. I don't give a fuck about any of this shit because it's all fucking terrible.
Michael Myers brings up a good point. Chris Pratt, Terminal List. Yep, that was another great
Terminal List
show.
is fantastic. Fantastic. Yep. Terminal List was awesome.
You said for right now?
Yeah, we never know. But yeah, that first season was incredible.
Yeah.
You don't know what they're going to do with it. Check Ghost Memory for $2. When did Jay become Ginger?
You got the upgrade. You paid for it.
Shadow saying for a $5. John Morrow is a 10, and I guess the beard guy is a 3.5. 3.6. Pre-Dawn
I gotta be honest, I have no idea what the John stuff is. I have no idea who that is.
It's better off that you don't know.
It's better off, yeah.
Is it better off?
Pre-Dawn Corp for a 199. Jed, team kill in COD Cold War hardcore with me.
Don't even know what that is.
Okay, so apparently Cold War is still popping from what people are telling me. Like, people are still playing Call of Duty Cold War
and not getting hacked.
That's what if you do private matches. So okay. I'm very interested in that because I very much liked Cold War. I thought Cold War was probably the best Call of Duty that I've played since Black Ops 2, probably. I love Cold War, but I knew with the whole hacking problem, and obviously I'm not playing any of the new Call of Duties. But yeah, people are saying Cold War is still pretty playable. So
interesting. Blabs the Tower Tard for $2. Can we replace the new guy with John Morrow already? No. Shadow saying for a $5. Beardo, you should be honored. We collectively spent $90 to give you a message from our savior, John Morrow. Thanks. Thanks for that. Yeah, I was busy doing laundry last night, and I get a call from Jeremy. I'm thinking it's going to be this important business call, like, multi-million-dollar deals, and I just get told that I'm gay. Golden Nuggets.
Tomac says, if the Fallout show is canon, how many times do they play Big Iron on Hid Hip? Tomac has questions. We don't have answers.
I don't know. The dude who plays Maximus, the dude who looks like a Cuba Gooding Jr. and a Denzel.
Why? Mix, because he's black?
He's just so boring. He's so
he's
boring.
The most 50-year-old, 20-year-old I've ever seen.
He is so boring. The dude who plays Maximus, like, he's my least favorite character. He's just boring.
He's just there.
Yeah, he's just there. Golden Nuggets for a $5. John Morrow slams revolving doors. Beardo tries to ride them. Yeah.
Damn. Disco Cobra for 50.
A 50?
So would you consider the Fallout show to be decent? I thought it was going to be woke again. I'm looking forward to the Fall Guy movie coming out early May. Other than that, not much. Maybe Stellar Blade game. Just getting housework done for now. Yeah, I mean, I think we've talked about it a little bit, but it just seems like with Fallout, the show, it seems like normies really like it and hardcore fans are very critical of it. And for me, I guess I'm interested enough for sure. I am interested enough with the little bit I've seen, and I'm going to be watching several episodes today, so I'll have more to talk about on Friday Night Tights tomorrow. I'm interested enough.
I would say it depends on what type of story you're more invested in. If you like more immersive world building, more atmospheric shows, Fallout is for you. But if you prefer good stories and depth characters, complicated plot lines, or just, quality of writing is your priority like it is for me, it's not for you. So it just depends on your preferences.
Yeah, I'm 5 episodes in, and to me, the most intriguing character, the character that I want to know more about, and his motives is the Ghoul. Is Walton
great.
Goggins is his character. He's the most compelling character so far. Python Bacon for a 199. Noticing forced diversity is not a crime.
No, I'm always going to notice it. And again, I'm not overly familiar with the Fallout games, but it's very distracting. But in current day Hollywood, when you just see their diversity is on display, like, oh, look how diverse our show is, ladies and gentlemen. Look how many non-white dudes we have. It's just what it feels like. Maybe it applies to the game, but it's Hollywood for you.
Gremlin for a $20. You need to play Fallout 1 and 2 top-down game, and you'll understand how dark the Fallout world really is. We got that one. Thank you for the 20.
You can look at the StreamYard side. I've got them unstarred, the ones that I've read.
Okay, here we go.
Fucking retard.
It's not updated for me.
It doesn't?
You see 26?
I see 26, but I read Checo's memory. When did Jay become Ginger? I read that one.
I didn't unstar that one. I didn't unstar that one yet. I was saying the ones I read, you fucker.
We got Shadow Sand for 5. Read that one. We got Pre-Dawn Corpse. Come on, man. You tell me to do this, and I've already got these ones. Beardo, we should be honored. Oh, my goodness. Here we go. I thought you got these ones. Shaka Zulu for 24 months. Thaddeus, Maximus Bully. Thaddeus ends up having more of a character arc than Max himself. He is kind of my favorite character. I haven't got too far. I just got to the part in episode 5 where Thaddeus and Maximus. No spoilers. Eudite for $10. Maybe there's so many fat actors in Fallout because Americans and the world in general have gotten so fat that they couldn't find enough thin actors to fill in the cast.
That would work unless you had the fat guy in episode 1 in the middle of a gunfight go, "Save the pudding," or whatever. Like, that was intentional.
And I see a lot of arguments from Fallout fans saying, oh, well, like certain Fallout fans are saying, oh, well, Fallout's always been satirical. There's always been some satire and sarcasm in Fallout. You just don't understand. It's like, yeah, well, it kind of takes me out of it in this post-apocalyptic world where we have fat people and trans people. Like, is this show serious? Is it satire? You got to pick one.
Satire is often used as an excuse for poor quality, so it still has to be good satire. So it's still not a good enough excuse.
John, the casual artist, for a $5. Honest question: how do you guys integrate DEI in a more satisfying way, assuming you're forced? P.S. Jeremy is gay. Hail, guys.
How do you
integrate DEI in a more satisfying way? I don't know if you can.
You can't. Like, it's like, okay, go back to a show that I know is a very divisive show for people, but the show Lost. That's a very diverse fucking show. It's not forced. It's just a natural kind of group of different people that are on a fucking plane that crashes on an island. Go back and look at the casting. It's an extremely diverse cast of people. At no point are you watching that going, they're actively casting non-white dudes. It just works. Cobra Kai is another example of that. That's a very diverse show. It doesn't feel diverse. It doesn't feel forced. When you are actively hiring people based on race and gender, it will be noticed. It will be noticed in the storytelling. It will be noticed in the camera work. It will be noticed because that's their focus. That's what they're looking to do. They're looking to put diversity at the forefront, and it's always going to be noticed. It is a mistake in any capacity to do anything based on just gender and identity and race and all of that shit. It's always a mistake. It's a mistake to judge people on that. It's a mistake to hire people based on that. It's a mistake to cast people on that. It's a mistake to tell a story based on that. It's always a mistake. And when you are starting out with the mistake, everything else is going to suffer because of it.
There you go. Boomer Nerd for $2 says drop 3 episodes and then go weekly like Apple TV does. Yeah.
That's what Amazon does most of the time, and was the original plan for Fallout. Like 5 days before the original release date of Fallout, which was going to be, I think, 2 episodes in weekly, they said, all right, we're going to push it up 2 days and then binge the whole thing. It's just weird. Whatever the reason was, that is weird, and people thought it was a sign of non-confidence.
I think what ultimately what we're going to see is we're going to see these companies like they are continuing to one up each other. So we're going to see them trying all different types of things. You know, obviously because the streaming wars is going on, and Netflix is still the king of streaming services. But they're obviously trying some different stuff too. They released Stranger Things season 4 in kind of 2 different parts. So
because they knew that you needed to extend the zeitgeist, extend its popularity for more than 2 weeks.
I think that they did that by making a good show. So because season 3 was fucking dog shit. So
yeah,
I did not like season 3 at all.
So many people already invested into Stranger Things. So even though season 3 was dog shit, they knew that they were going to get to season 4.
Well, yeah, and I mean, and now I like, to me, Stranger Things is in a weird place now with how old the kids are now in general. It's just weird. It's really strange.
They're not aging them up at the same rate.
Yeah, it's hell. They're gonna all be like fucking grown ass fucking adults by the time this thing ends.
Yeah.
I'm not overly looking forward to Stranger Things season 5 personally. Even though I thought that season 4 was good, I'm kind of just checked out on it. Like I'm like, all right, cool. You know.
Well, yeah, and then you see like Millie Bobby Brown, like you see her in real life. She's like half naked on magazines and shit like that. And then you watch Stranger Things, and you're supposed to believe that she's this a high school girl. It's like, well, really this feels weird. This feels weird. Sir Hat for $5. Jeremy's, I can't understand the binge model argument. Bit is always funny, never change. All right.
I don't know if what do you mean I don't understand the binge model?
I can't
argument?
understand
I'm the one that argues for it in a certain way.
Peace or utter destruction for a $5. Says Beardo and Gary both read my name as Piece of Utter Destruction in Super Chats. Well, I didn't just right now, so all right. Ryan has never read it wrong. Well, good for him. Pre-Dawn Corp for a $5. They should have made the Fallout series about a low intelligence and high charisma protagonist. Okay, thank you for the $5. Tobias Nexus for $5. Fallout
in the first episode of Fallout, though, am I crazy that it's just weird that she fucking gets the best of that dude when he fucking beat the fuck out of her and she still was able to get up and fucking cut him. Like he threw her across the fucking room multiple times. She shouldn't have got up from that. Like, unless I'm missing something, unless she's got some fucking superpower, I don't know about. But he beat the fuck out of her.
Yeah, I mean he stabbed her. He fucked. I think she got lucky.
When he threw her across the fucking room and she landed like in that cabinet, like that was a brutal fucking hit.
Yeah, I think,
and like that type of shit's distracting to me because I'm like, why is she? Dude, nobody's getting up from that to be competent enough to overpower a dude. No woman's gonna be able to do that.
Just wait till you get to episode 4. There's another scene where you're like, really, she's that able and competent. But I do think in episode 1 she just happened to get lucky that there was the glass mug right there, just happened to be right there, which could be ex machina, whatever. But yeah, there's other scenes like that you're kind of like, really.
Yeah, and that's where it goes into, like, as much as I love something like Cobra Kai, I'm sitting here seeing these guys and these girls, like, but the girls never get hit, and the girls are always getting these shots on the kid. Like, it's like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, are we putting the girls in the Thunderdome, or are we not? And you see the girls sitting there get all these kicks on the guys, and the guys never like punch the fuck out of them. You know what I mean? I'm like, what are we doing here? What are we doing?
What have we done? Pre-Dawn Corp for a $5. They should have. Yep, we got that one. Thank you. Tobias Nexus for a $5. Fallout has some amazing quest mods the community has made for 3, New Vegas, and 4. No one plays 4 for the story. It's dull. I know I played 4 for the crafting element. Yellow Flash. What's up, Flash, for a $5? Fallout show is good, but you can see the ESG that will creep into season 2. Well, that's spoilers, so I'm not going to finish that, Flash, but thank you. Shadow
you do
Saiyan
have to worry about the upcoming seasons because Jonathan Nolan's other big show was Westworld, which was a phenomenal season 1, and then just off a cliff real fast.
Yeah. I did see that he's said that he's going to bring in Jesse Pinkman. What's his name? Aaron Paul?
Aaron Paul.
Yeah,
Paul's
Aaron
his
Paul.
name, yeah.
Aaron Paul.
Yeah, bitch.
Aaron Paul is going to be in season 2 of Fallout. Apparently. Shadow saying for a $5. John Morrow supports the superior weekly model. Well, then he's wrong. That's all there is to it. MJ for a 10 month says 6 out of 10 for Fallout. Too many tropes. White man bad. Morally awful women who are misunderstood. Lots of soy boys. And then story beats of stuff happens. Meh.
Yeah, that was the thing
that
too.
was my
Again,
big-
just there's a lot of weak men, like that's all I'm seeing is weak men, weak or evil men, either weak men or evil. Then the men that aren't evil are just the men that aren't weak are just bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking hell, man, you just can't. Like again, when I'm sitting here watching through Breaking Bad, and I'm just going like, fucking hell, man, this is so good. There's no bullshit here. There's no agendas here. There's just like good storytelling, good characters, good development. And then, of course, you go into Better Call Saul and, you've got Kim Wexler, who's a phenomenally written character. It's not because she has to be a strong whammon. And we don't, these things are so rare, man.
DB Wild for $5. The Fallout show is not perfect, but it is good, even canonically. If you really know timelines and if you can view it outside of today brain mentally. I'm having fun with it.
What?
That explains a lot. I mean, just look at that profile picture.
I think Jay got hacked by John Morrow. Dermy Wormy for a $10. This should be a good one.
Oh.
Jeremy, you are a bigger short bus rider than Beardo right now. Squid Game became popular due to the coof, and Stranger Things was one of the first original things on Netflix. He might have a point there with Squid Game.
Yeah.
He might have a
It
point
was
there.
one of their first original content that they've poured a lot of money into. It was a big test.
Well, for Stranger Things.
Yeah,
Squid
Stranger
Games. For Squid Games, it was popular, I think, because people were on lockdown, and that was something that for people to, I guess, bond over while we were all locked in our houses.
Yeah, I think the cream rises to the top anyway. I mean, Animal Crossing was a massive fucking success too, and that was tied to that. But Animal Crossing's continued to be a very popular game beyond that. You look at Animal Crossing, the sales for Animal Crossing are just absolutely retarded, and that was all because it literally, it's almost like Nintendo set up the coof so they could sell 25 million copies of fucking Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
But that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. I see the girls in the chat are freaking out over Animal Crossing now. That toxic game, that very toxic game. They put that on the toxic games list, on the toxicity meter. Fucking Animal Crossing. What?
I heard it was because you indentured servitude. You kidnap people and tell them to work for you, even though that's not true.
Good. I mean, but is anybody really excited about Squid Game Season 2? I feel like Squid Game, it's kind of like Joker. Did it need a sequel?
Squid Game is Squid Game is the definition of something that does not need a continuation. It benefited from an element of mystery and a viral kind of moment. It's not, I don't see it being sustainable success for at all. But it was massively successful for what it did, for sure. No doubt. But yeah, I don't give a fuck about a season 2. Will I watch it? I mean, I'll probably just out of interest to see what they're going to do. But yeah, I don't think Squid Game needs a follow up at all. Are they working on a follow up?
Oh yeah,
Squid Game? There's season 2. There's a teaser trailer for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not overly interested. So we'll see what they do.
Moose for a $5. Sydney Sweeney is my wife's favorite actor. It's 10:30 and I'm 15 beers deep. Holy shit, slow down, dude.
Go.
Where's my butter dish merch? Seriously, sell butter dishes already. Damn. Carlos Estrada for $2. Since when did we trust Todd? 16 times the detail. Yeah, Todd Howard is a fucking joke. Hercules for a $1.99. Mayor of Kingston is phenomenal.
Kingstown, that the Jeremy Renner show with from Taylor Sheridan.
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah, that's a good show. Everything Taylor Sheridan is involved in, I'm like, have you seen? Was it Wind River? Have you seen Wind River?
Yes, that movie's good.
Fucking phenomenal.
But Taylor
man.
Sheridan, he's falling off a cliff. He's not doing nothing. All of his shows.
Well,
all of his shows just
Well,
disappeared.
Yellowstone ended.
I don't think so.
Well, not ended, but like they're wrapping it up. I am.
Well, and he was supposed to have that other cowboy show, the 66666,
Well,
the four
he's
sixes, the four cowboy show with the side character. What was his name? Jimmy.
well.
The
So
character he went to that other ranch. That just he's not doing anything with that.
well, no, but he what's the so you had the show with Tim McGraw and Faith
Yeah,
Hill.
the 1800s one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
had the one with Harrison Ford.
Mhm.
And then he was and Tulsa King. Tulsa King is supposed to get a
Yep.
season 2.
Was that
Where-
Taylor? Was Taylor Sheridan
Yeah,
involved
Ta-
with Tulsa?
Ta- Taylor
I
Sheridan was
love
Tulsa
season
King.
1. Season 1 of Tulsa King is fantastic. And what's crazy is because Taylor Sheridan was on Sons of Anarchy, one of my other favorite shows. He was just a side character in Sons of Anarchy. He ended up leaving that show over creative differences, and then went on to create all of these fucking amazing franchises and shows after the fact. Pretty crazy.
John Morrow's Beardo's nemesis, John Morrow, for a $5. Beardo, don't think I pull 10s because he pulls 3s, Ginger Jesus. Yeah, shut the fuck up. Blabs the Tower Tard for a $5. Oliver Anthony on Daily. Nice. Can we get some rich men north of Richmond? I like pickles, violence, and tentacles. Yay. Harry Brownhole for a $2. Diversity plus bad writing equals should have focused on writing. You're not wrong. Tearing the Black for 9 months. Black Suit Storm is the best storm. I'm still waiting on the DEI shoe to drop, but damn, X-Men 97 is good.
Yeah, a lot of people are liking X-Men 97, and I'm happy to hear that. How far into it is everybody now, or how much is aired?
I don't have Disney Plus. I'm not watching it.
How much is
Hey.
aired?
5 episodes, 6 episodes. I haven't seen any of it, but yeah, it's getting close to the end.
Aren't they rebooting Sons of Anarchy? God, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. There's no way.
Dimeo for
There's no way they would reboot Sons of Anarchy. That would be a fucking
It's too
disaster.
Too soon. Dimeo for 11 months. Wish Fallout 1 and 2 got a remake with Fallout 4 gameplay, New Vegas perks, but the story and dialogue must not change. I don't know if Bethesda is that competent. Wash Snow Ghost for a $5. I'm paralyzed, and I agree with Beardo. That guy taking advantage of damaged kids that didn't get a chance to have a life before getting injured. Yeah, John Morrow's a piece of shit. Agmar for 6 months. Beardo, remember to check the P.O. Box, brother. Emailed you the tracking number. Check your spam folder. Hail the chat. Hail the panel. And hail the 199. I'm going to try to make a stop at my P.O. Box today. Or tomorrow. Boog for a $20 says thoughts on the new Transformers 1 trailer.
Haven't
watched
seen it
it
yet.
yet.
Well,
Haven't
and we
watched it
still
yet.
got 2 topics we got to get to.
Yes, we do. Derek Beller for a $199. Beardo without sunglasses is Master Chief without a helmet. I got him right here. I got him right here.
That's really good. Okay, before we continue,
Yeah.
we got to talk about Sydney Sweeney. Yes, she's not just in the thumbnail, ladies and gentlemen. She's actually a topic. All right. So a Hollywood producer slammed Sydney Sweeney yesterday, saying that she can't act. And basically, it's just an old hag that's very bitter and jealous. But Sydney Sweeney fires back at producer who said she's not pretty and can't act. How sad and shameful. So Sydney Sweeney, the internet's favorite person, has responded, and I need to take this dark theme off, but looks okay for now. But yes, so Sydney Sweeney right here, and why did they cut? Why did they cut the picture off? Why did they cut the picture off? The hell are you doing, Hollywood Reporter?
I am okay. This might be a hot take.
Okay.
I am on the side that if Sydney Sweeney didn't have massive breasts, that she would not be as popular as she is. I think that's pretty obvious.
Yes, and
I'm just saying.
I don't think that's an argument.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, boobs matter.
Just saying.
Boobs lives matter. Okay.
Stellar Blade is proving.
Yes. So that's not, you're not breaking any news. You're not breaking any news at all. Like, as a matter of fact, okay, this right here, this is the greatest moment in CNN history. I don't know if you guys remember this, okay? With Clay Travis, when he went on CNN and talked about boobs. You guys remember that? I'm trying to say it. You guys don't remember that? Oh my gosh. Okay, Clay Travis. Yeah, he went on CNN, and has YouTube just removed this whole fucking thing now? Are you kidding me? There's no way. Yeah, it looks like it looks like YouTube has removed all of these clips. Here we go. I got it. All right, here we go. So this right here is like one of the greatest moments of all time. Okay. Clay Travis goes on CNN and says this right here.
I believe in only two things. I'm a First Amendment absolutist. I believe in only two things completely: the First Amendment and boobs. And so
I have seen this
decision.
I don't know who he is.
You believe in the First Amendment and
sports-related commentary. They
hold
couldn't
on. I just want to make sure I heard you correctly as a woman anchoring the show. Did you say, what did you just say? You believe in the First Amendment and BWBS?
Boobs. Two things that will never let me down in this entire country's history: the First Amendment and boobs. So those are the only two things I believe in absolutely in this country. And so I don't think Jamel Hill should be fired, but I do think straight up that once you make the decision that you are going to let Kurt Schilling go, that you have to also make the decision that you're going to let Jamel Hill go. I think that's a bad decision. I think ESPN
really
has made bad
triggered.
decisions that have led to 13 million subscribers bailing on the network. They've made bad decisions that have led to ratings collapsing. Jamel Hill's television show is collapsing. Ratings were down 20% last week over last year. I think that's why she's angry. I think that's why she went after Donald Trump. She's begging for ESPN to fire her so she can work.
And then the black
else.
dude completely takes her side.
Okay.
because
Keith?
of course.
What do you think?
Listen, I'm astonished at almost everything I just heard. One of the things that, and Jamel's a personal friend, not just a colleague, but a personal friend. One of the things that Jamel's had to deal with her entire career, and many women who I'm friends with in this business and have been friends with in this business for a long time, is sexism, blatant sexism. Comments
he didn't talk about her
boobs. About her racially, comments about her inability or perceived inability to be able to comment on sports because of her gender. For somebody to come on CNN and to say something like the only thing I believe in a discussion about something.
I'm still there too, and I just want to make sure I'm hearing you correctly. BOOZE or BOOBS? Because as a woman,
why is she spelling it out like it's a bad
As
word?
in boobs. I believe completely in the First Amendment and in boobs. Those are the only two things I believe 100% in this country. And by the way, Jamel has absolutely nothing to do with her background at all. Did you notice that? He went straight to that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I did go straight to that.
Why would you even say that live on national television and with a female host?
I say it live on the radio all the time because it's true, and that's what I do. Because I like boobs and the First Amendment, which is exactly what I said.
Listen, Brooke. I think that speaks for itself. I love the First Amendment as well. I also love women, and as
you don't love boobs too.
One who truly. I'm not going to talk about that on television. Because
so what's funny is after the fact, Clay Travis went and searched this Keith Reed's Twitter account, and he's like thirsting over all these fucking chicks.
Of course.
Of course it is. So anyway, just wanted to show that. But yeah, man, good stuff. Now back to the topic at hand, boobs. So that's the reason that the whole conversation came up. Not only does Clay Travis like boobs, America loves boobs.
Yes, we do.
This is why Sydney Sweeney is popular. Sydney Sweeney is popular because she has a great set of tits. All right, an absolute great set of tits. And she's attractive overall for sure. But the boobs are.
Right.
It's like. Dude, it's like a 6-cylinder Mustang versus a fucking V8. Okay, like the boobs are the V8. Okay, nobody cares about the 6-cylinder. Get the fuck out of here. That's a flat chest. All right, you want the V8. All right, get it. So that's where Sydney Sweeney is in this situation. So to criticize her because and again, this Hollywood producer, to criticize her because the only reason people like her is because she's got big tits. Well, yes. And that's okay. And people will go pay money to watch her in movies if you cast her. They will. And she doesn't have to necessarily show her tits, although that would be a positive. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, this is hilarious that this old hag had a problem. So right here, Sydney Sweeney called a stray last week when veteran Hollywood producer Carol Baum said at an event that Sweeney is not pretty and can't act, and that her hit rom-com Anyone But You was unwatchable. A rep for Sweeney has now fired back at Baum, saying in a statement shared with Variety how sad that a woman in the position to share her expertise and experience chooses instead to attack another woman. If that's what she's learned in her decades in the industry and feels it is appropriate to teach to her students, that's shameful. To unjustly disparage a fellow female producer speaks volumes about Miss Baum's character. So there we go right there. So Sydney Sweeney's PR team firing back. Carol Baum. Let's click on this and see what this old hag looks like. If we can find it. Let's see.
If they're going to show it.
Good Lord.
Look
Come on, Variety. Variety, get the fuck out of here.
Jack Daniels ads, huh? I didn't think you drank, Jeremy.
I didn't either, but yeah, they're not. It's not even working, so we'll just stop sharing from there. But
well, I mean, like, if a woman can't act, oh my goodness, that looks like Chuck Schumer's wife.
Yeesh. So this is the chick that's mad about Sydney Sweeney getting attention. Okay, there you go. So
I mean, no surprises there. There's no surprises. I mean, this is why Tom Cruise with the latest Mission Impossible movie, I do think that Haley Atwell is a talented actress, but what makes her more talented is that Haley Atwell has an impressive rack. And if one thing with female actresses, if you can't act but you're hot as shit and you flaunt it, you're a good actress. That's just how it is. Look at Jessica Alba back in the day. I don't think Jessica Alba's a phenomenal actress, but she's hot. Jennifer Lopez, she's not a great actress, but she's fucking hot.
She's really not.
Yeah.
So I mean, you gotta look at it like, who's your audience? You want to see badass. If it's an action movie, you want to see a badass action movie star like Tom Hanks. Sorry, not Tom Hanks. Fuck me. Not Tom Hanks. Tom Cruise, and hot woman like Haley Atwell.
Yeah, I mean it's not a big deal. And this type of mindset with how this Hollywood producer is approaching this is exactly why Hollywood's in such a bad place right now. Because it's not really about her acting. I mean, at the end of the day, like what's her name? You mentioned Jessica. Did you mention Jessica Biel or Alba?
Alba. Jessica Biel too.
No. I never watched a Jessica Alba movie for her acting ability.
I mean, her undressing in Fantastic Four is about the only thing people remember about those two movies.
What was that one movie with her and Paul Walker? Into the Blue. You ever see Into the Blue?
No,
I believe so.
It's
been a long time.
So for educational purposes, I'll show you guys a couple clips from that if you want to read some super chats while I look this up. Yeah. But this is for research purposes, so just everybody can understand.
Of course. I mean, in the Adam Sandler movie, I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry. Everybody remembers that movie because of Jessica Biel undressing and you see her in a bra. Taker for a $5. When Netflix was still just DVDs, I binged all 11 seasons of Frasier, 2 DVDs at a time. Binge is not for new shows. It's for shows that have finished. Okay. Shadow Saiyan for a...
I was just going to say, that's what I do. I binge through like the entirety of good classic NCIS, and it's the same ways. Those shows are constantly on top in the binge model.
Shadow Saiyan for a $5. Beardo, pronounce canonically. Canonically again.
Yeah, that's still not right.
Canonically?
It's canonically.
Canonically? Who gives a fuck?
I think I said it wrong the other day.
Who cares?
Right, look, this is for research purposes. This is Jessica Alba in Into the Blue. Okay, research purposes right here. So that was her from Into the Blue. Now, there was and listen, I want to talk about some of the camera work in this movie, okay? So there was some really good camera work. And as you guys know, I'm a film student, and I like good camera work. And I want to compliment some of the camera work in this movie. Really good camera work, okay? Getting all the right angles. So right there, getting really good angles, which is a key component to making a good film, getting the right angles. So, cameraman, great work. Really well shot movie, and I appreciate that. So yeah, but Into the Blue is actually a really good movie. It's got Paul Walker, Jessica Alba, Josh Brolin's in it. It's a really good movie, actually. So
there you go. Shout out.
Anyway, that's our film. That's our film breakdown. If you guys want me to EFAP that image, I'm sure we can kind of go through it, frame by frame. But we'll just hold off.
We'll just hold off right there. Bully Hunter 77 for 6 months. Thank God Beardo is reading the super chats again. I enjoy short school bus entertainment. Well, you're getting it. You're getting it. Tommy No Figure for a 1 month recommitment. Monetize D's. Thank you, Tommy. I feel I named JJ for 5. People get up after a car wreck. Moms lift cars to save babies. She must have thought he was going to steal her baby, or she channeled her ancestors.
Well, that's what the first thing
Lucy?
I thought is she's got a demon baby in her because she said he's irradiated. So I thought that was going to be a plot point.
Well, she was so asphyxiated on her fertility, right? Because she was banging her cousin. She was fucking her cousin and said that it wasn't, it wasn't sustainable because she needed to have children and that obviously their children would be retarded. But then she got stabbed right in her ovaries, so now she can't have kids anymore. Moose for $2, 17 beers. Now, I wasn't joking about the butter dish. We'll get right on that. Atomic Patriot for $5, playing a game called Cultic, which is actually awesome. It's a retro shooter and reminds me heavily of a classic Doom. Hail, y'all. What's up, new guy? Hey, how you doing? Bert for a 199 says, Ryan is looking very rough after a week in Vegas. I think he's talking about you, Jed.
We got Porter Stanley for $19.99 says, change the subject, but what is going on with EVS? Always see these wild stream titles about RIPA and FNT. YouTube is whatever is going to get you the most attention, you're going to do more of it. And if FNT and RIPA get you the most viewers, that's what you're going to keep talking about. So good on them.
Beardo's nemesis, John Morrow for 2. Beardo reads super chats like a tard. Lock it in. Hey, I'm trying, man. Moose for another 5. 2 more beers. My wife puts on the Handmaid's Tale outfit of Sydney Sweeney. I'll be looking for my butter dish. Sounds like you're having a hell of a day, Moose. Beardo's nemesis, John Morrow for a 5. That's about the only thing me and Beardo agree on. Boobs. You know what? You're starting to turn around, John Morrow. You're starting to come around. Archer Blades for a 320. It says, thighs are better. Hey, nobody's arguing about a fat ass or against a fat ass. Essen for a $5. Is Jay sharing his drugs with Beardo? Tom Hanks? It was an honest mistake. Shadow Saiyan for a $5. Ah, yes, my favorite action movie star, Tom Hanks. Yeah. Darth Racer for a 5. I love big boobs too, but Natalie Portman has been very successful for 30 years with just an average set. Yeah, but she's also smoking hot.
Yes.
540 Varia Hunter for a $30. Wanted to give $5, but can't change currency. My money is shit, like Dan's. Anyway, what's up, Figs? 199 Opla praise Ara. Drunk Ryan reads is better than Tardo reads. Thank you. Space Case for $5. Sydney's boobs help her career. Beardo relies on his beard just the same with less success, in my opinion. Thanks for the 5.
Boobs.
Boobs. Beardo's nemesis, John Morrow for another 2. Picture of the woman that motherfucker her ain't real. What? Picture of
the I posted that motherfucker ain't real girl. What's her name?
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, she posted a picture of the bikini and
yes. Yes. I was surprised that Quartering had a problem with that.
That's the reason I saw it, because Quartering quote tweeted it, and so I was like, "Well, I'll pull that up." And listen, it was for research purposes. We do a lot of research on Cobra Cast.
I didn't have a problem with it.
Tiffany Gomez, yeah.
Put her on this calendar.
Great.
Yeah. Kurt Mueller for a $5. ScarJo may be one of the few hot women that's also a good actress. Yeah, she's a good actress. Zero the Hero for a 10. Jeremy putting the sin in cinematography. Snub Hammer for a $5. Sweeney makes my knee grow, not the left knee. Okay. Sir Hat for $2. The original car lifting mom was essentially fake. We have a family friend who did move their car for their newborn in real life. Lower lip slicker for $2. I binged 17 seasons of Stargate in 20 days.
Holy shit. That's a lot.
It happened.
That's a lot. Vault 95 on Rumble says Fallout 3 is the best Fallout game. There shouldn't be fat people in the vaults because of mandatory exercise. Also, tunnel snakes rule. And then we've got Ryan's gay hair says, I'm still gay. Nobody wants me to change. Roscoe, even without the breast, I'm an ass man. She still has a beautiful face. Gorgeous woman. I agree. Just Nova says, new Squid Game, Blackbeard versus Redbeard. Roscoe says, I wouldn't fuck her with Ryan's dick. Can Man says, what the heck was that? I didn't know Gilbert Gottfried was getting a sex change. I deserve a raise for even having to see that face. Roscoe says, give me back my son.
Give him back.
Just Nova says, boobs.
Boobs. Bionic belly button for $10. Women like eye candy too. Like we watched Aquaman for the plot. Henry Cavill, Tom Selleck, Tom Hardy, Hugh Jackman. Yes, sir. Hey, there's eye candy for everyone. Just Nova for a $5 says, rack 'em up. Scarlett Johansson, Sofia Vergara, Selma Hayek, Kate Upton, Christina Hendricks. Proof there is no misogyny in Hollywood. You're damn right. Matt for $5. And if Beardo had a fully functional frontal lobe, he wouldn't be retarded. Not a hot take, just a pointless take. Thanks. Operation Outstanding in the Field. What's up, Drew? For $5 says, Beardo, I got your back with this John dude. Just give me the word and I'll be your champion in a cripple fight. Hashtag power through 199. Yes, thank you, Drew. I would take you in a fight against John Morrow. Spider Claw for $5. Look, Jeremy, I know you wanted to give Ryan a rest, but what happened to Vera? We get reading problem instead. Hey, you watch your mouth.
Yeah, I asked Vera if she could be on. She had some other things going on today, but we'll get her back on very soon. No worries.
SBZ for $2 says Tom Hanks did his own stunts in Mission Impossible.
I need to see the AI of that now.
Yeah. Tearing the Black for $5. Boobs are winning right now, but the Olympics beckons. Nike might be the MVP of the year. Go check out the female tracksuits. Might need to do that. Suns and Shadows for an 8-month recommitment. Don't be forgetting Kate Beckinsale. She's up there. Kendon for an 8 months. You see, the next Terminal List season is going to be a prequel spinoff about his friend in the CIA. We're talking about Taylor Kitsch. Mm-hmm. Is it going to be about him?
Do you have to go? Is high tea? Are you on high tea today?
Well, yeah, it's Thursday. Yes, I'm on high tea, but
you can go.
I told him I'm on daily.
I got a notification. Jay's live right now. You know what he's wanting? He's wanting everybody to go over there and say hi to him. That's what he's going to do.
Derek Beller says, I watch daily for Beardo. I mean, the news. Thank you. John Morrow says, Timmy. Okay. Moose for a 5. I lasted 30 seconds. My wife is pissed. Fuck my life. Round 2 after 20 beers. Good luck. Blabs the Tower Tard for $2 as Tom Hanks did his own stunts in Philadelphia. All right. and we're all caught up.
We are all caught up. Okay, we got one more topic to get to really quickly. Reacher star Alan Richson basically said cops get away with murder all the time. That's right. That's what he said. Shout out to Graham Nolan here. I got this from his page, but it says so this is the national, what is this, fraternal order of police. While Mr. Richson gets his face and forehead powdered on set, our officers are out doing a job he doesn't have the courage to do. While he gets to hear loud pops and have blanks fired at him, our officers feel the heat of the bullets as they pierce their skin. There are no take 2s or take 3s in life, Mr. Richson. We have people who want to kill us, and we play for keeps. Just another useless Hollywood actor, virtue signaling for attention at the expense of brave police officers around this country. Go back to your pampered life and let the heroes handle this. Yeesh. Right there. Now, does either one of you watch Reacher?
No. I've wanted to get into it. I haven't started it.
I watched the first season. Thought it was good. Okay. I haven't gotten around to season 2 yet.
I'm under the conspiracy impression that this is a humiliation ritual that he has to go out and say this kind of bullshit because he wants to play Batman. I think he wants to play Batman, and the Hollywood overlords are telling him, okay, well, these are the statements you need to make in order. If you want to play a pivotal character like Batman, well, you need to take these firm leftist talking points. And I know that he's been a weird lefty with the jab, and he's had his comments about, the jab and other crazy stuff. But I think that he's saying all this right now because the Hollywood overlords are telling him, hey, you want to play Batman, you got to come out publicly and denounce these groups of people. That could just be a conspiracy, but I don't know,
plausible.
Man.
I just hope that this backlash that he's getting right now from the fraternity, which is wild that they're saying something so brutally honest, and I love it, but I'm hoping this controversy is enough that we get Jensen Ackles Batman over the Alan Richson one. That's my one hope from this.
Well, it looks like he responded, and I'm not gonna fucking read his whole response because it's a lot, but it's over on his Instagram. So this dude's a bitch. He just is. And I don't, like, I was talking about this the other day because I know there's a lot of people that are like, oh, you guys shouldn't be watching Reacher. Well, I haven't watched Reacher, but if you're watching Reacher, I can totally see, like, I talked about this with me watching Breaking Bad. Bryan Cranston's a fucking lefty psychopath too. All right. Yeah. They all are. I think that Reacher is it's gotten a really conservative fan base though. And that's why this is really having such a controversial response, because it has such a conservative fan base for that show. But yeah, he's kind of always been like this. This is kind of who he's always been. So it's not surprising at all. But yeah, fuck him. If you're still watching Reacher, that's totally fine with me. I'm not sure I'm ever going to watch the show personally. Mainly, I watched the first episode and it just nothing is okay. Whatever. You know what I mean? But yeah, we'll see.
I mean, Tom Cruise is a fucking weirdo too, but I enjoy his movies.
Yeah. A lot of them.
At least he doesn't push it on anyone.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. All right, let's read these last few and get you over to high tea.
Let's see here. Taker for 5. Canonically. Except when you're discussing the canon of canon, then it's canonically. Does Alan Richson get PTSD from firing an AR-15 in real life? Tobias Nexus for 5. If I can figure out this VTubing thing, I'll come on and read supers, Jeremy. No, you won't. I can't be worse than Jay or Beardo, but it might be a dip in viewers.
You won't be for sure.
What?
He won't be worse than Jay or Beardo.
All right. Sorry, Jeremy. I have high tea to get to real quick.
Actually, we're about to pull this up because I think he's stream sniping us, so we're going to stream snipe him.
D's Webos for $5. Geeks and Gamers should have a bikini calendar, and Sevi should definitely be in it. Oh, and Chris Carr is fat. I don't know who Chris Carr is.
All right, so we're stream sniping him, stream sniping us. Okay.
This is so gay.
So we're stream sniping Jay, stream sniping us. So let's see.
What's he laughing at?
Don't fire Jay. It's my fault. This is Greg the Goblin. Greg the Goblin dropped a 50 on Jay's, but he drops a 2 on mine.
What are we doing?
What the hell is this?
Clyde Dashing for a $5 says, new guys, low T, don't fire Jay. Hey, you watch your mouth. Greg the Goblin for 2 says, don't fire Jay. It's my fault.
This is
Craig the Goblin dropped a 50 on Jay.
This is so stupid.
He dropped a 50 on Jay.
I only started early because people sent me a bunch of money. What do you expect from me?
I've never gotten a $50 super chat on YouTube ever.
Never.
Yeah, man.
I've definitely never seen it.
Oh, now they're like.
All right, so Beardo, you need to leave this stream and appear on that stream while I'm stream sniping.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Yes.
Yes. Should I just leave it up? What should I do?
Later, Beardo.
All right. Later. I don't know what to do. This is so confusing.
Well, this is the stupidest.
All right, he figured it out.
This is the stupidest live stream start ever.
Nerdrotic drops a 50 on Jay's stream and not mine. What? What the fuck? That's bullshit. Jay is literally stealing money from me right now.
I hope he sees it, Gary.
This is bullshit.
I hope he sees it.
You know what? I'm going to stream over Jay every day now.
He saw it.
Jay's like, he saw it.
He's so mad.
Oh, this is amazing.
Can you guys hear him?
No, they can't hear me, you retard. You don't have the... Unless he's got it turned down low. I can't. Can you hear us?
I can't hear it. No.
I am totally going to copyright claim Jay. Yes, I'm gonna strike his channel. Hey, we got a gifted membership over
so
here,
much
baby.
trouble.
What's up? Thank you. Look at that, Jay. Be jealous.
Still competing.
I didn't know he had
Be
my
jealous.
sound on. It's kind of weird.
Look at this son of a bitch, Nerdrotic. Look at this. Look at this son of a bitch. He sends me $1 and Jay a 50.
Oh.
What the hell is this?
Yeah, did Beardo get lost?
Oh, you can't hear them. Hold on. He said he's gonna.
Alec Baldwin's finger
He's
drops
gonna
a
strike my
50 on
channel.
Jay's stream and not mine. You know what? Fuck y'all. You know
What is
what?
Jay doing?
Here, I hang on. I'll just drop a 50 on my own damn stream. Fuck y'all. I'll get somebody's gonna give me a 50. Nick Skyburst is just trying to help Jeremy. I'll drop a 50 on my own fucking stream.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's up?
Hey, is anything interesting happening?
I'm making a lot of money off Geeks and Games.
Here. Let's
Aren't
see
we all?
here. Hang on just a minute.
He said he's gonna drop a 50 on his own stream.
Yeah, man.
What
At
you
least
need to do is
somebody
share
will
the
show.
audio.
At least somebody
I
will
don't know
show
how
me
to
some
share
love.
the audio.
Look at there.
You know?
Hey, we got a $50 super chat
I'm
from
trying,
D-Day Cobra.
Look at that.
$50.
D-Day Cobra for a 50. Michaela
Okay,
for a 50.
Yeah, look at that.
Okay, good. He got another 50 over there.
What's going on, man? This is ridiculous.
All right, let me.
Nerdrotic dropped 20 gifted memberships. So
Nerdrotics with a 20 gifted
I can't tell.
memberships.
I keep thinking Jay Beardo's talking to me, but he's
You know, I've never seen Gary in one of my live streams. Ripa shows up all the
This
time.
doesn't make any sense. We're hearing like 10 different things going on here.
Ripa shows up all the time. Gary has never once showed up in one of my
So
streams.
they're hearing themselves
Never.
on.
Mhm.
But then again, all I do is
Are
play
you
video
over?
games.
What
And
stream
Gary's-
are you on? I like hear your voice.
I'm on
Get
your
your
show.
50 weekly. Jay's binging his 50.
I'm on high tea right now. What's up, brother?
Oh, it's because I'm hearing
What's
the
up,
echo.
brother?
Oh,
I'm hearing
man.
the echo, and it's like it's messing me up.
That's good
Oh.
stuff right there. So, yeah. All
It's
right.
like I hear a weird echo.
This is so dumb.
All I
yeah.
freaking
But-
heard was Jeremy's gonna stream over me for a week. You know
Yeah,
how much that's
yeah.
gonna cost me?
Yeah.
You know
I
what
am.
that's gonna do to me?
I'm gonna.
You
stream
know,
over
like
him for a
my
week.
YouTube career is officially ruined now if he does that.
Yes,
Unbelievable.
I'm 1000% gonna do that.
Unbelievable.
It must be nice though to have like big time streamers like Nerdrotic in your
I
chat.
don't
Gary
know.
says, poor Tardo. Thanks, Gary.
All right, let me see if
This
I
is
can.
pretty dumb.
Let me see if I can raid Jay.
So how have you been, man? Since I last talked to you.
Let's
Hold
see.
on.
How do we
Last
do
night.
this? See if I can do it. Are they going to say anything so we don't have the
All right,
awkward
we can't hear
silence?
nothing.
Hey, no, I don't know what the
Yeah, let's
problem-
let them entertain
Gary,
our chat.
I
while
love
we
you,
go.
man. Thank you.
Okay, let's see here.
I don't know what the problem is.
All right, let me
Let's
stop
see.
sharing.
Dude, all my Power Rangers fell over, dude.
Stop sharing. Okay. All right, guys. So that was fun. We are going to raid Jay. So thank you guys so much for all the support. We appreciate it. We have a lot of fun. And, Jay is awesome. And I won't stream over him. I won't do that. I would never do it. Hollywood Scholar, what do you got going on?
Well, everyone can find me on YouTube and Kick at Hollywood Scholar. Probably going to be streaming some games with some Fellowship people tonight later on. Don't know the exact time yet, but tune into both of those for some Helldivers 2.
All right. Well, looking forward to that. And again, thank you for the gifted membership. That's the only gifted membership we got all day. But thank you so much. All right. So go show some love to High T, Fear the Beardo, Drunk 3PO. We're going to raid them. I want to see those 199s in the chat. And let's go. So again, thank you to Jed and Beardo for hanging out with me today. Thank you to the chat for another awesome stream as always. You guys have a great day, and we'll talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.